the website The Blackvault was down for I think a day or two this week, and I think it's worth covering. John Greenwald, friend of the show, he's got one of the largest depositories, if not the largest, of FOIA documents on the internet. And yeah, it was down. And what's interesting is that it was taken down like almost immediately after he offered to help the Trump administration, like with declassification and stuff, which I just found interesting timing. I'm not accusing the Trump admin of doing it. The timeline of events was interesting. Let's real quick, let's watch the history of the Blackvault.
You may have touched on this before, but what was your entry in having an interest in UFOs? Did you have a sighting?
News days.
Don't know your background other than you founded your website in the 90s. That's right. I founded it in 96. I don't have a very cool sighting story to tell you. In fact, I don't have any sighting story to tell you. I don't have any experience in that regard. What I do have is a undying curiosity. I was fascinated by government secrets when I was like 14, 15 years old. And when I was 15, decided to look into government documents. And then I learned of this thing called the Freedom of Information Act and started filing requests when I was 15. And when I went back to the internet after I realized a document I had read, specifically the 1976 Iran incident, realized that it was real, I thought, okay, there's got to be more out there, and there wasn't. So fast forward 27 years, what you see today is kind of the evolution of what I was looking for when I was 15, but it didn't exist. There was just no archive out there. And so that's what I did. I built it. And here I am. I haven't been left. But it's just curiosity. I wish I had a cooler story other than that. But that's why I'm here.
Declassify news. Them were the days. He did endorse a meme coin amidst all this. But anyways, so here's February 19th. What is that, a week ago today? Yeah, 1 week ago today, last Thursday. That's the day when Trump did his whole announcement in the plane and the UFO community was dancing in the streets. Dear Secretary Pete Hegseth, Secretary of War, I've investigated records originating from your agency for decades. I have documented proof going back many years with citable FOIA case numbers that should show you exactly where to look for highly classified UAP records withheld from the American people to this day. I'd love to help, John. So that's last Thursday, right? February 19th. And then this happened like the next day, literally the next day, February 20th. And this is February 21st. He says, there is a massive outage on my documents blackvault.com server. This houses much of my document archive. It sickens me, but I'm working hard to get everything restored. I've been following John for probably like nearly a decade at this point. God damn. And I've never seen anything like this. And I just found it really odd that it was like literally the day after Trump's announcement, then he offers to help with all this stuff. Let's read more of it, what he said 2 days after that. Let's see. Yesterday, I discovered that 100% of my main document server was just gone. No files, nothing. This was hundreds of gigs of data and thousands of directories. And it just vanished. In addition, numerous server-side directories had permissions changed and file ownership changed. It is unclear why, and I've never seen this in the history of running web servers for the Blackvault. Isn't that weird, guys? Kind of odd, right? I'm not sure when exactly this happened, but I discovered it yesterday. I have server monitors up, but never got notified of anything down. The server was just throwing forbidden errors, which is why it technically didn't show as down, so I never got a notification. Let me be clear, I do not fully suspect foul play, but the main web hosting provider for that server I run for had no idea what happened. And on their side, they said it was a deletion, not a corruption. Isn't that interesting? Even the servers didn't even know. The hosting servers didn't know. In my honest opinion, I felt it was very oddly timed server maintenance done by the hosting provider that went awry. They didn't catch it, and when I did, they didn't take blame, and there was no way to fully prove what happened and by whom. Could I be wrong? Yes. Could it have been foul play? I can't rule it out. Yes, I have numerous backups, and yes, it appears I got everything restored already as of early evening yesterday. But please let me know if you find any errors when downloading documents or anything for that matter. I remain the sole person who runs the Blackvault, and this will be the start of my 30th year running the website come this September. I began hand-typing documents in high school to a 5 megabyte free space server back in 1996, PrimeNet. I have now grown to nearly 4 million pages of records online, running 4 dedicated servers just for the site, and no data deletion, accidental or otherwise, will ever keep me down for good. But it is a stark reminder to us all, me included, keep backups, keep them in multiple places, and never be intimidated by anything that comes our way, no matter what we expect may have happened. Stay the course. I am, and I'm not going anywhere. So yeah, go subscribe to John's Patreon. He was plugging a coin. I think he unplugged it though. But anyways, this timing is interesting, right? Isn't that really weird? This timing is super sus. He says it's never happened to him in the 30 years he's been running the site. The people on the other side of the server didn't know what the hell was going on. And yeah. Gabby B says, I guess he doesn't understand what he is dealing with. This is offsite info. Eric Tumbleson says super sketchy. And, Eric, I value his opinion on this kind of stuff. I feel like he's knowledgeable on this. And yeah, I'm curious, Eric, if you want to maybe type in a more thing. Let me see. T. James says, weird coincidence. Mighty Mo says, that's not shady at all. Jorge says, they tried to pull a Jorg Arnu on him. I missed the reference. Yeah, he was never a threat until now.